graduation to get through with you guys tonight. Welcome to the students and parents of the class of 2024. I'm excited to have you guys here tonight. Honestly, excited to start this process, particularly with this group of kids. I just have to say, I love this class. I think it really is honestly such an awesome group of kids. There's so much character, so much personality. And I feel like we've had particular fun with this class this year because we didn't get a chance to get to know them as well as we typically do freshman and sophomore year just because of all the COVID weirdness. So I feel like this year we've gotten a chance to really get to know these kids better. And we've been doing seminars in the classroom this past week, and it's just been so fun, seriously. It's just such a great group. Obviously we love all our kids, but I mean it when I say that this is a special group of kids, and we're excited to start this process with them and really to see where they end up going from here and what they do after Millis High School as well. So we will get them there. So just a quick breakdown of kind of who's who in the counseling office. My name is Riley Dunn, so I'm one of the school counselors, and then the other school counselor is Nicole Moore. And we do a ton together, so the kids get to know both of us, but when it does come time for those individual questions, for parent meetings, and for letters of recommendation and stuff like that, we do meet with the kids on our caseload. And so my caseload is last names A through K, the first half of the alphabet, and Nicole's caseload is L through Z, but I certainly don't expect you guys to remember that. If you ever call the counseling office, you can just let Erica Herky know that you're hoping to speak with your kid's counselor, and then she will connect you with one of us. And please feel free to put our numbers and our emails on speed dial throughout this process. We are happy to help you guys. You will find tonight that many of the answers to your questions are it depends, okay? It depends on the school, it depends on the student, it depends on the specific situation. So there's so much that we do that's individual to the student. So just don't hesitate to reach out and ask personal questions. We're really here to help with that. And just some numbers to think about to hopefully put everyone's minds at ease, because one thing that we hear from the seniors or the juniors every year is that their biggest concern at the beginning of this process is that they're not going to be able to get into any of the schools that they want to go to. And last year we had 98% of our students go on to post-secondary education. There are nearly 4,000 schools in the United States. And the number of students from last year's class who wanted to go to college but they couldn't because they didn't get in is 0. And I could say that is true for the last 9 years that I've been here. We will work together on this process. We're going to come up with a list of 6 to 10 schools for each kid that they are super excited about. And we're going to make sure that that list is balanced and realistic. And what's going to end up happening is they're going to end up getting into multiple schools and still not be sure where to go in a lot of cases, and have to make that big decision before May 1st. So hopefully those numbers kind of ease some of those fears. Just a quick breakdown of how the night's gonna go tonight. I'm gonna go over kind of the basic junior timeline, just some of the steps that need to get done and the timing of those steps between now and hitting submit on these applications. Some of the things I'll be kind of purposely vague for because we're gonna dive deeply into them later on in the presentation. I'm also going to go over some of the resources that are available to students and parents throughout this process. And I'm going to talk about SCORE, which is our platform that we use for college research and where we actually will be submitting materials to colleges from Millis High School. And then we'll move on to the best part of the night, which is our panel presentation. We have representatives here from Boston College, UMass Amherst, Quinnipiac University, Suffolk University, and Mass Bay Community College. I think I got everybody. So they're really going to talk about the details of this process, and we want you to be able to hear it right from them. So I will be brief with my overview of the timeline because I do want to get you guys to that best part. Okay, so in terms of responsibilities for students this year, the most important thing they can do, even if they do nothing else for this process, the number one most important thing they can do is keep their grades up. Focus on their academics, work hard in their classes, because that is the best case that they can make. And they're saying to a college, they're applying and they're saying, please admit me because I'm going to be successful at your school. I can handle the rigor of college coursework. Their best evidence of that is their high school classes. So we encourage them to really focus on keeping those junior year and senior year grades strong throughout this process. We're doing seminars with the kids this week, so we're going in for 2 periods for all of their English classes, and really walking them through this process, and in a group setting they can ask questions. We also will be doing flex blocks pretty much from now until the end of the year, are going to be open to our juniors, so that they can come and for that 25 minutes out of a cycle, come and hang out with us, spend a little time thinking about this process, whether it's, just researching colleges on SCORE, working on your essay, knocking out pieces of the Common Application. Just come, sit, work. We've got candy, coffee, and it's a nice laid-back environment where they can just work on their college stuff and force themselves to think about this a little bit, and we're there if they have questions. Again, it's open to anybody, and they can sign up every flex block if they want to. Researching schools is really the other big responsibility from now until the end of this year and over the summer. And we really try and encourage the kids. This is the fun part. This is really the fun part. Of course, this is in some ways a stressful process because it's a big change that's coming, and change can be hard. And of course, there are going to be things that they've got to stay organized with, and that there's work to do. But the researching part, that's so much fun. When you think about the fact that they're going to be spending the next 4 years, so they're picturing themselves, does this school have what they need? What's going to make them happy for those 4 years, and what's going to help them to launch their adult life and their careers? So we really try to encourage them to have that mindset, that just have fun. Be researching schools and trying to figure things out about yourself to figure out what's going to be the right fit. And as best they can, tune out kind of the noise and the pressure, and really just focus on themselves and what their goals are and what they're looking for in a school. Another task for this year is to prep and sign up for the SATs or the ACTs. We'll hear more about this from the college reps later in terms of the fact that many colleges are test optional. But we still are encouraging, there are some schools that are requiring it. So we are encouraging our students to take the SAT and or the ACT, to take it seriously, to do their best on it. And the nice part is that if those scores don't end up being a great reflection of who they are as a student, there are many schools that don't require this. They don't necessarily ever have to submit any SAT scores, but we want them to take them because if they do well on it, it can be something that strengthens their application. So the dates for the SATs were on a piece of paper out on the table in the hallway if you got it. And we recommend taking them in May, but they're also available in March. We recommend taking them once in the spring and then once again either in August or in the fall. And we don't have those here at the high school, but they're available at area high schools. And it's a good thing to sign up for sooner rather than later so that they can get a school close by and not have to drive, all the way to Woonsocket on that Saturday morning. And we definitely encourage the kids to make visits as much as possible. It's really the best way to get a sense of how it feels to be on campus and whether or not they can picture themselves there. So February, April breaks are both great times to go when there are college students on campus. But if they can't go over break, they also all have 3 excused absences this year to go explore colleges and 3 for next year to go explore colleges. So we encourage them to take advantage of those as well. And over the summer, again, it's more of that fun research, just checking out, figuring out what you're looking for and where those schools are and what your chances are of getting in, that type of stuff. A little bit more focused and trying to narrow down those lists. It's a great idea to talk to people who've been through the process. We encourage the kids to reach out to us if they're interested in the school, because we, of course, know all the Millis kids who have left here and gone off to those schools. And any of them would be so psyched to hear from a Millis High School student who wants to hear about their school. They would love to talk about what their experiences and how much they love their school. So definitely talking to people who've been through it, continuing to make those visits, tours, and interviews. And it's a good time over the summer to start working on the Common App. The Common App is one application. You just go to commonapp.org, fill out a bunch of basic information about yourself. Honestly, it's not that hard of an application. It's just a little tedious. So that's a good thing to knock out over the summer while they don't have classes, homework, sports, all that stuff going on. It only takes a couple of hours, honestly, but it's just something that you can carve out some time for over the summer and check off your list. Yeah.
Is that different from the application you were talking about on the previous slide, Flex app, that the kids would be working on?
Yeah. So the Common App is like this one. You go to commonapp.org. Sorry, I didn't fully explain it. And that's really that's your college application. You fill it out, you put in all your information, and then you add the colleges that you're going to apply to that application. It'll then tell you if they have any supplemental questions that you need to answer, and then you submit it directly through the Common App. You get your credit card ready and you submit it to each college. Yeah, so most colleges do accept the Common Application, which is nice. It means they don't have to fill out a whole bunch of applications. But some schools don't, which just means that you would go to that school's website and fill out their application on their website. Yeah, and then FlexBlock is just a time and space for them to come hang with us and check some of these things off their list. And we also encourage them to think about some of the tech internship possibilities that are available. We're kind of partnered with this program that offers internships to high school students, which can be hard to get because internships are usually given to college students. But this program does a great job of connecting kids with some real world experiences. They have them work on their resumes, their interviews. So it's a great use of summer time, and we encourage kids to talk about that with us if they are interested. There is a cost to it. I think it's almost $1,000. So certainly not for everybody, but if that's something that they're interested in, we encourage them to come talk to us, and that's a good way to spend their summer. We also will put in our Google Classroom just a list of any summer opportunities that we hear of, whether it be community service things, classes they can take, or different workshops that are available at colleges. So they'll have that available to them as well for different options over the summer. In the fall, we'll go in and do the seminars again. We'll just walk them through the process again. Hopefully at that point, they'll be a little bit more focused and know where they're thinking about applying to schools and be able to, have some more targeted questions. We recommend taking the SATs or the ACTs again. Typically, so some students take it in August, some take it in October. August is for those kids who think, okay, I'd love to spend some extra time over the summer. I won't have all my other stuff going on, so I'll spend some extra time over the summer preparing for my SATs. Other kids are like, no way, I don't want to take the SATs over the summer because I'm not in school mode, my brain's not functioning in that way, and I'd rather push it off until the fall when I'm actually doing all that type of stuff. So October is a good option for those kids. And we'll do another parent night in the fall, and at that parent night we'll have a representative from MEFA, the Massachusetts Educational Financing Authority, to walk through the financial aid process. There are early deadlines and there are regular deadlines. So those early deadlines come up quickly, November 1st, November 15th, and for Southern colleges, they're October 15th. So if the kids are operating on early action or early decision deadlines, that's when they will be submitting their applications, and they'll obviously need to pull all their materials together by that time. Or there are regular deadlines, and the regular deadlines are typically January 1st, January 15th.